Kat, you ready?
Yes.
I have had the opportunity of meeting this young lady before, and she will tell you a story to be able to really begin to illuminate why we are here on this afternoon and how we change lives, how you change lives. And Kat has her story as well. Kat, you ready to go?
Yes.
Here we go.
Hello, my name is Kat Tiscornia, and I'm a freshman at Mercer Island High School. Up until March of last year, I was your typical 8th grader. I loved horseback riding, eventing to be more specific, skiing, and spending time with my friends and family. Then it all changed. I went to the doctor to have a large bump on my thigh checked out. I was told what I thought might be a bad bruise had a high probability of being cancer. After many tests, 2 biopsy surgeries for my lung and my leg, and a stressful couple of weeks, I was diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer known as Ewing sarcoma. There are approximately 250 cases diagnosed a year in the US. My treatment included 14 rounds of chemotherapy, during which I was hospitalized for 2 to 5 days in a row for each round. I've undergone surgery to remove the tumor and replace my femur with 5 inches of titanium and a new hip ball. I can now call myself the titanium girl. I've had multiple MRIs, CT scans, PET scans, and x-rays. I've also had multiple blood transfusions, and I've been poked so many times I can't remember how many. I used a wheelchair, walker, crutches, and a cane. I was in a back and leg brace to set my hip for 7 weeks straight, 24 hours a day. I've spent 54 nights in the hospital and have gone to over 200 doctor's appointments. I will continue to get scanned periodically for this first year and then yearly for the next 5. But this isn't a speech about me. I'm here today to talk about all of us kids at Seattle Children's Hospital. On my 8th grade graduation in June, I was asked to give a speech. I talked about what I had learned during middle school and about what having cancer had taught me. Afterwards, a teacher came up to me and told me that I have a voice and not all kids with illnesses are heard. I didn't understand what she meant at first, but after spending so much time at the hospital, I began to understand. I started to look around and noticed all the kids receiving different treatments at Seattle Children's. Being at the hospital, you hear many different languages and see kids of all ages, from the tiniest of babies to all of the teenagers. Some have similar diagnoses to me, and some are very different. Some have no hair, some have difficulty walking, some have difficulty speaking, and some have huge scars on their head. When I did my physical therapy at the hospital, there was a little baby boy, probably about 18 months, who was learning to walk with a prosthetic leg. He also had no hands, but he managed to hold a tennis ball, which if someone tried to take away, he'd scream. Then there was a little girl who was often waiting in the oncology waiting room with me. She had some type of cancer. I could tell by her bald head. She liked it when my little sister would come along. They were about the same age, 6. My mom says it isn't right to just call us kids. We are really warriors. Our surgeries and treatments that we undergo are long, hard, and grueling. I don't know if we are warriors, but I do know we are strong. One of my favorite quotes is, "You don't know how strong you are until being strong is your only option." Some days we cry a lot. I've definitely done my fair share, but we battle our way through each and every day. I spent most of my time on the cancer floor. One of the children there had just received a bone marrow transplant. My dad would see her mom again and again as we would come back for chemo treatments. At my last chemo, that girl had been in the hospital for 112 days straight. We lost track of when she was finally discharged. Such amazing strength, a true warrior, but one that few people get to see. I guess the one thing we all at Seattle Children's have in common is we are unlucky and lucky at the same time. Unlucky that we all have diseases, such as cancer, which we had no chance of preventing. Some of us were born with our diseases, and some of us have gotten sick along the way. Sometimes even the doctors can't tell us why we are so sick. We haven't had the chance to smoke too much or exercise too little. We're just kids. But we're lucky that we have Seattle Children's to give us hope for the future. My two primary doctors are Dr. Hawkins, who is the leading oncologist for sarcomas in the US, and Dr. Conrad, who is quite possibly the world's best orthopedic surgeon for removing bone tumors and rebuilding bones. Both of them are at Seattle Children's, not to mention all the other amazing doctors and staff. I asked my parents to add up the medical bills associated with my cancer. They told me that they stopped counting after the bills reached $1 million. This cost included chemo drugs, operating rooms, hospital rooms, and much more. I'm lucky my family has health insurance, but even with that, my family has paid thousands of dollars out of their own pocket. I'm lucky again because they were able to afford to pay. Unfortunately, there are so many kids at Seattle Children's that can't. Did you know that Seattle Children's is one of the few children's hospitals in the country that will accept a patient regardless of their ability to pay? I believe that raising money for research is important. It is so important to me that I created my own fundraising site called Cat's Crew to support bone cancer research. But that is research for the future, and it doesn't solve the immediate problems of today. What every kid and teenager wants at Seattle Children's is a chance to live for the future, to just be a kid, to hang out with friends and family. And it's possible for many of us with the current treatments available at the hospital. But those treatments and surgeries are expensive. I can't imagine having to miss just one of my chemo treatments because my parents and family couldn't afford it, or having to choose what treatments I could or could not have. There's an amazing organization called Make-A-Wish Foundation. It grants wishes to myself and other kids who are really sick. I know some kids have wished for being able to walk on the field for a coin flip at Husky Stadium or to meet someone famous. But at the end of the day, all of us kids at Seattle Children's have the same wish. Whether it is to throw a ball, to ride a bike, to paint a picture in kindergarten, to hit a home run, to participate in chess club, to go on a field trip, to ski, to experience the craziness of middle school, to score the winning goal, and for me personally, to attend high school, to ride my horse, attend college, and follow my passions. Your donations tonight don't just pay bills. They make wishes come true. I've been asked a lot of questions. People ask what it's like to have cancer, and that one's easy. It sucks. They also ask me how this experience has influenced me. I know I'm a much stronger person than I was a year ago. I guess I'm supposed to say that I'm going to become an oncologist, a doctor who specializes in cancer. My parents always laugh at this one. They know I've spent so much time over the last year watching movies and TV shows on Netflix that I'm much more suited to become a screenwriter in Hollywood. In reality, someday I would like to write about my experience. Maybe then I will see its influence on me. Their last question is, do I know why I got cancer? Last year in school, we had a speaker come from Africa. He was living in Rwanda, running an orphanage. When the genocide in Rwanda occurred, the government told all U.S. citizens to vacate Rwanda. He sent his family home, but made his personal decision to stay and help the orphans, as well as hide villagers in his house. I was really moved that day. I had decided that someday I would like to make a difference just like him. Little did I know that that day would come so soon. I've spent a lot of time thinking about why cancer happened to me. I didn't do anything wrong to deserve it. Ultimately, the only answer that makes any sense is so that I can make a difference for other kids like me who are sick. Hopefully, someday, Seattle Children's will be a memory for me. A line from one of my favorite songs is "Every storm runs out of rain." I hope my storm is ending, but I'll never forget all the other kids at Seattle Children's. I've been at the hospital for too long to completely erase it from my memory, and I don't want to. Last November, I had the opportunity to speak at an event with my oncology team present. I promised them that I would continue to bring awareness to Seattle Children's and pediatric cancer. It is important to me that these kids are not forgotten about, that they have a voice, and that they are heard. Raising money so that every kid can get their best available treatment helps me know that my struggle is worthwhile and that I can make a difference in the world. I want to start out today by donating $100 of my own money. I write articles about my experience with cancer, and every time it gets published, I get paid. Together, we can make a difference. On behalf of all of us kids at Seattle Children's, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.